on chemistry, so many different emotional states and stages of relationships. What was the most cathartic song for you to write and perform?
The hardest one to write, but the one uh I probably like a little bit more than the others is Lighthouse. And that's just, it's a really intense song for me. And it was kind of me figuring out like just finalizing what I was going to do. And I had, it had come to the conclusion that like it wasn't going to work, so that was a really hard, um, it was just a really hard pill to swallow, honestly, when you love someone so intensely. So that's probably my favorite right now on the album. But like fun to perform, I will say favorite kind of high is a jam. I love singing favorite kind, and Red Flag Collector. Red Flag Collector, not only am I having a good time, just take a gander at my band. Like my band loves that song, I think, more than anything. They were fun to watch.
At the Belasco Theater, I feel like they were holding hands. I was watching it. They
Yeah,
were.
I know. Aaron and Jesse. Yeah. It was, everybody would just really enjoys the sarcasm of that song. So, and they all lived it with me, for years.
Now, Kelly, do you feel your better work is heartache or happiness? Like, because if you've done the full gamut of your songwriting, but what do you think?
Yeah.
What makes better work?
Unfortunately, I do think that like tragedy and really huge moments that are just make a huge impact on us, a lot of those are more the tragic moments of our life. And I think, not to say they all are, but I think that's where good music comes out, or at least real music, like raw music and authenticity. And I don't know, I think people connect with that, like authenticity and just the brokenness. I know that sounds sad. You don't want to connect with people that way, but I think that people, have felt that way. And so they'll relate to the lyrics. And that's how I do with other albums. I mean, think of your favorite albums right now. And like, usually they're like, I mean, one of my favorite albums and one of everyone's favorite albums is Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. And it's like, that's a really, that relationship did not go well. Like it didn't end well, and it sucks that like we go through stuff like that. But the cool thing about it is, as an artist, we have this gift of like, that's our healing and that's our process of getting through things. And then you get to share it with people and connect with people that might, because I remember when Billie Eilish came out with Happier Than Ever, and I was like, I will cover this song because I feel like it's mine. like I related so much to that song, and so many of us did, which is why it's a huge hit. And it's just so well done and written and produced. And there's nothing like an artist releasing something that you feel like that's my world, and so I hope what that did for me is what my album will do for people as well.
And Kelly, when you were in the studio for this album, was it Alanis and Billy? Was that who you were listening to?
No, I wasn't listening to anything. I literally wrote so many songs, and I was listening to my thoughts and the roller coaster ride of that. And it just was a really, because I know people think of it as like songs and like, oh, you're listening, it's just a different thing when it's your life, and you're going through it. So I wasn't listening to anything at all, except for just my voice, memos of these songs that I was, were using as like a vessel for a therapy, really. So
I love that. I love therapy. Kelly, for I Hate Love, you mentioned The Notebook, and it's
yeah.
complicated. Why those two films?
Well, I just was trying to find an example like of what we're sold on and then what's real, right? I am 100%, I believe in The Notebook and that kind of love. I do. I believe that exists. I just believe that that's a rarity. And I think, sometimes movies, it's a movie, and it's a story or a book first, obviously, but I just mean like it's a story. And I think some people will hold up life to like that. And I was making a joke of like, it's complicated, it's more like it, you do think, and it's like, I Hate Love is really that Meryl Streep, Alec Baldwin thing. It's like this chemistry that you can't deny that's happening, but it's so not good for you, and you want to end up with someone like Steve Martin, who's great, and his character in the movie. So I just thought I was looking for like an example with movies, and I just chose those. I do love The Notebook. I do believe in that kind of love. I just was looking for humor and hurt.
And then the inspiration for Favorite Kind of Love.
Oh, favorite kind of high?
Favorite Kind of High.
Yeah. Favorite kind of high is basically that I was very adamant with my label when they were like, are you gonna write about this or what are we doing like with your next project? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm just doing this for me right now, you know. And whenever we decided to start actually working on an album, I was very adamant from the very beginning that I did not want just like a divorce breakup album. I wanted that to be in there because obviously it's my life, what happened, and I went through something, but I wanted the whole thing to be in there because to diminish a relationship down to just the bad is a disservice, I think. So favorite kind of high was, you know, and magic, and you know, there's just songs on there that point out that like it wasn't all bad. Like there was, you know, fire and passion and magic and all these things that are the reason why you fought so long, you know, and why you try so hard. And that is real, you know, that was real. So I just wanted from the beginning to make sure the whole album was like the scope of an entire relationship and not just the doom. So yeah.
Well, I think, Kelly, so many people just want to focus on the doom, but it's like, no,
Yeah.
there was a whole full story there. There was some black, white, and gray.
Which is funny because I've never written a happy like pop song like favorite kind of high. So it's like something cool came out of that. And I don't know that it would have come out had all this not happened and me like really examined everything.
Love that. Now, the Vegas residency chemistry is described as an intimate evening, Kelly. Tell me why it's intimate.
Well, I wanted the really important part for me was I had planned a Vegas residency like pre-COVID, and it was a completely different show. It was more of like that Vegas show that you really, you know, like pyro and like things like a big, huge thing. And it was just, I was in a different place when we planned that. And then my life, yeah, it happened. And so I just wrote this record. I felt like it wasn't the same show, you know. So we're coming in and it's more of a storyteller, it's more rock and roll, it's just lighting and the musicians and singers and having moments with the, you know, these intimate moments with the audience. And because people also know me now as like the talk show host, right? So it's like it's just kind of incorporating everything under the umbrella for this night or 10 nights. And I just wanted to be clear that this was not a normal Vegas show. Like it's more of like, you know, an intimate storyteller kind of vibe and you know, more like you're chilling with me in my living room kind of thing.
I love it. Now, Usher is in Vegas the same time you're there. Any chance you two?
Well, damn.
I mean, hey, daddy, come on,
I
pop.
hope people come to mine.
They're gonna come to both, but any chance you two could, pop over into each other's show?
Oh, I would never mind. I love singing with people. Like that's like I'm like I don't make people, but I love when people ask to do it on my show, on the talk show, because I think it's cool to do unexpected things like that. And it breaks the monotony for us artists as well, just to do something, you know, random. So, but no, I haven't thought about anything. Honestly, I haven't done shows in a long time. So I think mama's just, you know, I just want to make sure mine are good. Like I haven't, look, I sing like 2-minute songs on TV every week. Like, so I'm, you know, I want to make sure I am vocally healthy and like taking care of my audience. They're paying their good money. So I want to sound great at every show.